And welcome to the Marvel Sports Worldwide Podcast. Waff, try to mimic that shit. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Commander Wolf.
Oh yes, you are so Commander Wolf. That is that was well mimicked. I love that I have that power over you. That couple seconds of power over you. That I can I can make you do whatever I want for the intro. That's
It's usually because I'm so tired. You come up with the more unique stuff at the start because so I just I'll go with it.
I literally just went. That's it. That's what I did. Usually I've been trying to put more interesting statements before I do the hello whatever, but I didn't have one because we haven't done the show in forever, and anything would just be kind of weird and out of context because, there's not much context right now besides the fact that JMR is like, oh, yeah, we also did San Marble Rally. Here you go. They didn't put they didn't put any context behind their thing, so I'm not putting any context to the beginning of this episode. It's just a hello, here you go. I think that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. I want to get this out quick. You guys are going to hear me really like the new Marble Amethyst today. You guys may assume that I'm liking this marble because they did so well off the bat and I'm bandwagoning this marble. I can assure you, whether you believe me or not, I can assure you right now that before I even saw the marble race, I already had put it into my top 3 San Marble Rally marbles to root for.
I believe it.
My favorite. The reason being, top 3 being Super Bowl, Crazy Cat's Eye, of course. I mean, those two are easy to guess. And now Amethyst. Red number 3's dropped to 4. And I don't even know if I have a 5th one. Big Pearl's
I will throw in my guess for why, just because I think people are feeling Amethyst Alliance, right?
Yes, exactly. So there's a reasoning for it.
I knew it.
Waff knows what's up. Because I came up with that team name, and that team is I don't know what's happening with RML. The guy is struggling. Maybe he'll come back one day. So I'm really sorry that unfortunately that stopped for now. But I mean, he's going through a lot. But I'm sure someday that might come back and the tournament might thrive. And I'm so upset because it looked so good, and I made up all the team names, and we had all these events planned, and then life got in the way. But because that for in lieu of Amethyst Alliance, in homage to Amethyst Alliance, one of my favorite team names that I came up with for a marble sports team, I had to immediately take a liking to Amethyst, who's a little bit more pink than purple, but either way. I mean, let's just say it's not an amethyst color. It's really a pink compared to an amethyst color is a deep purple. I remember one time I was on the road. There's a place near my house. I was on this the highway near my house. It's one of those highways. It's not like a turnpike highway. It's just kind of the intermediary highway where there's a lot of stores on the side, but it's still a fast highway. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's the access road, if I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called.
Sure. Yeah, you will call it that.
It's a road that you can get on and off of the highway.
No, not like a highway ramp. It's like a whatever. Anyway, so there's a store on the side of the road. I'm sorry, Wop. There's a store on the side of the road that's called Amethyst something, Amethyst flooring, or Amethyst something spa or whatever. And the thing is colored this deep purple. It looks beautiful from a distance. I want to go. I don't want the service that they're providing, but I want to go in there just because the color is so nice on the building. That's an amethyst color. And it's a deep purple. The amethyst marble that we're dealing with, as wonderful as that marble is at racing, and holy crap, a lot of interesting moves towards the end of that race. We might even do a little diagram, whatever. Not technically an amethyst color. I don't know. Maybe purple marbles are really hard to get, but Waff, anything?
Let's hear life updates. I'm putting thumbnails and images back into the news segment again. I guess people were asking about it, and it's if I'm not gonna have time to do the full and the heavy stuff I did before, but at least putting one visual reference in so you know what the heck I'm talking about, I guess that's fair. So I'm gonna. So since last episode, we should have some visual element to the new segment again. I don't know if I'll start doing individual uploads again. Maybe. I don't know, but the news is it's back up to where it was before. Only it has now more stuff, which I feel like it just adds a lot of credence to the whole worldwide aspect. And I'm actually literally talking about Marvel news from across multiple countries instead of just 2 countries. So,
which I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
But no, we appreciate that, Waff. We do appreciate it. And for anyone who really keeps up with watching the news segments, I'm glad you guys enjoy that. I think there's a million life updates I could give, but it's been so long. I feel like that life update. I don't want to sit here and talk about my life for the podcast when we have all this Sand Marble Rally to cover. MSW Podcast at gmail.com. You can email in and you can talk to us about Sand Rally. I don't think there was a fantasy for this, or if there was, I missed it because JMR was just like, oh, here's just Sand Marble Rally and no time to think about it. So we don't really, there was no preparation that we got to do for that. It just kind of dropped. I woke up one morning and I was just scrolling through YouTube and I was like, oh, man, it's the qualifiers. And my brain didn't register that that was supposed to not happen for a long time. Or at all, actually. And so I was just like, okay, I'll get to that. And then, I don't know. I didn't register any of that. And then it registered when Waff was like, oh, we should talk about this weekend. And I was like, talk about what? And I was like, oh, right. Yeah. Qualifiers. And then they released a race. I didn't even notice that this morning. I sat down to watch the qualifiers this morning, and then all of a sudden there was a race. And I was like, wow, we're really we're already in the betwixt the beginning and the end of this Sand Marble Rally series.
Yes. It was sudden. And we'll definitely talk about, I think, our opinions on the format this year. We'll see how that, as well as the race itself.
So, with that being said, we're going to have a special guest on, and we're going to talk about something that they have been working diligently on that we mentioned in the past and we'll cover on the channel when it finally debuts. And so that will be fun. A lot of fun things to cover. Let's go to the news because we have that still going. And when we come back, we'll talk about Sand Rally and stuff. Also, Super Bowl. Big fan of him. Okay, news.
Hello, Marble Sports fans! I'm Commander Wolf, here with the Marble Sports Worldwide News. Hope you've been keeping warm. It's a bit chilly over here. But now, let's get right to the news. First up, we have Race 1 of Marble Rally Season 6. Yes, it's finally back, and it's better than ever. So many new obstacles and great track design led to an intense race. And it ended with quite the surprise, with Amethyst, the newcomer, taking first, followed by Ghost Plasma in second, and the Wisp of Darkness in third. Next up, we have Event 4 of the Marble Sports Games Season 5 B-League Funnel Endurance, which ended with Leopard from the Golden Lynxes in first, True from True Blue in second, and Lime from Citron Sprinters in third. Then we have the Marble Race Tournament Season 2 Day 8, which ended with Upstare from the Stairs coming in first, Small Hours from Midnight coming in second, and Prelude from the Cute Raspberries coming in third. Next we have the Adventure Marble League Fall Series Paper Finals, which ended with Steel in third, Alligator Eye in second, and Ocean Cat Eye in first. And finally, we have Event 4 of the JBL Constellation Cup Season 2 Obstacle Course. After making their way through these incredible obstacles, Slip from the Icicle Incredibles came in first, Burst from the Gamma Rays came in second, and Ton from the Speedstar Skeletons came in third. Well, that's all for the news. Thank you for listening. I'm Commander Wolf. You are the best fans in the world. Let's kick it on back with the podcast.
We are back from the news. thank you, Commander Waff, for doing the news. You know James Gator. He's my editor. He doesn't. No, you guys don't really know him actually, but like he's my editor for like my YouTube channel. He refuses.
He's been on the show before.
He refuses to call you Waff. He will only call you Woof because he says like, that's your name. I appreciate that. And I remember I was saying that, I was like James, like that is like I've done this show with him before I even like knew you existed, and I've always called him Waff, and I will always call him Waff. And he's like, well, no, that's his name. You called me his name as
in
Waff.
The first episode together. You called me Woof.
Yeah, and then also call you C-Dubs for an episode, and we want to kill every moment of that. So I wanted some nickname, and I hated that one, but I was also an idiot back then. So now I'm just like an idiot that doesn't say that anymore. All right, we have a guest on the show. Hi, Pesky. Say hi.
Hello.
This is Pesky from the they do Marble Productions from the Marble doing. Explain what you're doing.
Okay, I'll try to fix that. Whatever that was. So basically, I make marble runs on a smaller channel called Pesky Marble Productions. I run the Pesky Marble Championship, and I am currently working on a new series called the Marble Invites, which basically takes all the smaller community of competitions and they compete together for a grand title.
I am very excited for this. I promised that we would cover this on the channel, no matter the quality comparison to JMR. And I say that straight up because, like, you know, obviously it's very hard to make content like JMR. I'm covering this for the reason that I support the idea. I think it's wonderful that the channels are banding together. I think this is something as a community that we can take a good step forward in trying to build marble sports as a community. We've hit a roadblock here where JMR is what the frick it is now. It is a big channel where they make enough to make a living and they're not going anywhere else right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do an episode again in the future where I rant about why I think they're not going anywhere. But I think that this is a wonderful step to help band the community together and take steps to build a larger, more expansive, connected marble sports community. So, Pesky, I'm really, really in support of this. I really am. Good job, man.
Thank you.
To arrange for this.
Agreed.
I am curious. I know we're going to talk about Sand Rally first, but I am curious. How hard was it to reach out, contact the owners of all these channels, get them to agree to do this and send in the marbles and everything? How was that process? I might have even asked this last time.
The hardest part about it was like just finding enough people, like competitions, because we have like a bunch of big ones like Drill Marble League, Marble Sports Games, and a few others, but there was barely enough to even get 16 competitions in. So yeah, the biggest struggle was just finding people to ask.
For sure. And like 16, that's a lot. I didn't even know there were 16 established competitions outside of JMR. So being able
Luckily, after as soon as we announced it, like 10 more popped up. So next year we'll be able to have a little bit more options.
No, I see what you
Gotcha.
mean. Maybe even a little qualifiers.
Maybe.
Something like that. But that's very cool. And we're going to talk more about what that looks like and the timelines and everything coming later on in the show. So stay tuned for that. But we want to cover Sand Rally because a lot has happened. As we mentioned a couple times, JMR had no plans to ever make Marble Sports content again, and then released something we've been waiting for about 2 years. So
it makes it sound like they were done, like just making content
that's
in
how
general.
They seem sometimes. Sometimes it's just like stop making videos. They really don't understand the whole YouTube Shorts thing. So I mean, they're not. They kind of disappear. So. But let's hit an email, and then we're going to jump into Sand Rally. Now, the goal today of Sand Rally understanding is to understand who's going to be good this year, number one, who we think might actually win this year, and who we think, who we think should have made it and didn't. Because there were a few things about the qualifying procedure that I was like, man, this seemed like really like on the nose. Like it just seemed like it was way too quick, and like marbles that were like very much should have made it like just did not make it. And then they didn't have time to like show that they were good. It was just one race. They got a bad jump and it was over. So we might talk about that. But we want to focus on, the title of this episode, at least on the stream, says Slimer's not going to win because he's not. So I guess we'll have to talk about that too.
I guess so.
First email from Richard, actually the only email, Richard Hinckley, mswpodcast@gmail.com if you want to email in. We like when you email in. It makes the show more, we hear more people besides me and Waf. So let's see. Richard Hinckley, a longtime emailer. He says, Sand Marble Rally qualifying format. He says, I won't be listening to it this week as I have a basketball tournament this weekend. That's a lot of fun, man. I run the scoreboard for the tournaments in town. Okay. I know it would be a guess, but try to pick the winner of the tournament. Bronx, Warriors, Kings, and Lakers. Waff, pick.
Lakers is the one I know, so I guess I have heard of the Bronx, but I guess Lakers. I guess
I'm going Kings because like king of all, whatever. I'll go Kings. I know, like in the basketball world, Lakers and Warriors are kind of like the super teams that buy championships. But I probably upset a couple people by saying that. But come on. But I'll go Kings.
Oh dear.
I would have done the format like this. Either the top 4 in each heat would advance to round 2, which would have 2 heats of 8 and top 6 heat advance, or the winners of the first round qualifying and the second, fifth race. The winners of the first round qualifying and the second to fifth racing again in 2 heats of 8, with the top 4 in each heat advancing. I understand what you're saying. I tend to actually agree with you for either of these methods or any other method. I think that marbles in the mid-pack of finishing should have had more than one chance, because I just feel like Sand Rally, you always have to take into account the fact that like Sand Rally, it's difficult to get out in front when you start behind out of the gate,
right?
And like the best way to say it, and we can look at numbers for this, is that even the winners, like Super Bowl won last year. Super Bowl had a few races where he just got 0 points or a couple points because like he just got a bad jump and there was no way he was going to fight his way up, you know? And it's not because he's a bad racer. He won. It's because there are just certain races where it's impossible. So at least giving 2 possibilities to marbles who at least stayed out of like the bottom 2 would have been nice. Pesky, thoughts?
I think like for the qualifiers, in my opinion, what they should have done is like how they do it in like the Marble League, where you just have like maybe 3 or 4 races where everybody goes at the same time, and whoever has the most at the end qualifies. So it's not like, oh, you messed up in one race, yeah, next year.
I like that too, like the way they've been doing it. 3 or 4. I mean, I get that would take a while, but I think it would make sense because you're giving a
I guess it would. This track from the qualifier track was like shorter than a traditional Sand Rally track, if I'm not mistaken, too. So like, it wouldn't be terribly annoying to do multiple races.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think since we're on the topic of qualifiers, we think we should discuss the other thing. They reduced the pool of racers from 20 to 16. I guess I'll start off here. I don't know how I feel about this because on the one hand, it's like, it makes it easier to keep track of everything that's going on. So so it's not as bunched up and stuff. But the other way to look at it is like that bit larger pool of marbles could also result in some more unique like battles with the marbles you don't normally see. And I think most important of all is that this now means that there are even fewer marbles that people who have been waiting to see for a long time, that they now have to wait for them to actually compete again. Like, the problem with, in Showdown, like how in Marble League, where if a team doesn't qualify, it would be basically have, like, an entire year where you don't get to see them really do much. That's now for the same for more marbles in Marble Rally, but it's even worse because Marble Rally has been so inconsistent that, like, who knows how long they'll have to wait again to see their favorite marble race.
Yeah, I mean, White Widow, I'm going to miss her.
Or Big Pearl.
I do miss Big Pearl. Big Pearl.
Nobody misses White Widow.
Yeah, that's true. That was the point. That was the point. Pesky, do you have a couple marbles that did not qualify that you're upset that you won't be able to see?
I mean, all 3 of my favorite marbles qualified.
What were your 3 favorites?
Lucky you.
Komodi already qualified, then Civil Bolt finally did a thing, and then Lollipop.
Oh, wow. You got pretty lucked out again. I guess 3 of mine qualified too, but then, of course, Crazy Cat's Eye leaves the track immediately in the first race, so we're starting strong. Did you know that happened like last year? There was an early race where Crazy Cat's Eye just left the track, and I was like, dude, this again. I just, whatever.
For me, like, Blazing Fireball sucks at Marble Rally. That's not a question. But
No.
like, I always love the underdog, so I'm always looking forward to that day where Blazing Fireball actually does it. And like, they finished 4th in their qualifying race. If they had the same number of racers this year as they normally did, Blazing Fireball would have been in this season.
Does that make you sour, Waff?
Just a little bit.
Let's
Did
be
they
honest,
actually
nobody
marble
wanted
too?
Blazing
Thanks for pointing
Fireball
that
in.
out.
I mean, that's totally fair. I can't deny that that's a totally fair thing to think, because Blazing Fireball really is a terrible Marble Rally racer. I just love the story behind it, all right? The potential of a story. The potential of a story.
Potential. I wanted to point something out, and then I completely lost it. Before we get to the rookie thing, there was something I wanted to say. There's a showdown. There's a showdown
Oh, yeah.
amount of races.
Like, they had a showdown last time, too, I think?
I think the
They
implication
didn't?
is that it's going to be more than one race this year. Yeah. So you will be able to see all those guys race. I mean, I don't think Blazing
Just
Fireball
not to the same
is gonna do
extent,
that much
though.
better. But like, yeah, well, I mean, like the showdown, they're bad. They shouldn't get as much time. So we will get to see. I want Big Pearl to come out strong in the showdown because I like Big Pearl. I honestly, I'm surprised. I thought Big Pearl would have done better. Big Pearl had one moment during her qualifying heat race where she dove up to like 4th place, almost 3rd, through a couple chicanes that were really tight. And I was like, oh, and Greg even said like, oh, there was a moment. But then she just stayed in 6th. And so, what are you going to do? But I miss Big Pearl. There's a couple other marbles there that should have made it. Dragon's Egg didn't even get close.
Yeah.
Who else? Blizzard Blaster or something? Like I reckon
Blizzard
Black
Blaster is
Knight.
the only blue marble to make it.
Oh, he did make it then, but Black Knight didn't. And Black Knight, that surprised me too, because Black Knight is memorable in Sand Rally.
For DNFing,
Yeah, but like also for being in it.
I guess.
So like it's hard to imagine them not in it. Red number 3. I loved red number 3's qualifying race because as soon as the gate opened, red number 3 just took first place by like 3 seconds, and then he didn't end up winning. I think he lost to duct tape, which was really funny. But
Yeah.
Obviously red number 3, like you almost. You know it's random, but you almost wonder because you're like, really? Like red number 3 was the only marble to get a good jump out of the gate in that qualifying race.
That's what makes marble racing so good.
It's so funny to me. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting set of races this year. But I want to let's talk about Amethyst for a moment. I guess the
And race
question
1
for me is Amethyst a fluke? Is Amethyst actually good? Is Amethyst one to watch out for? I love Amethyst, so I'm rooting for it, but like should we really be focused on Amethyst?
I think so. Like it's always interesting. Like sure, it could always be a fluke, but like a rookie victory is always something to keep an eye out for. Especially like as Greg mentioned, like aside from of course the debut season, this is the first time a rookie has won the first race of the season.
Well, of course, in the debut season, right? I was confused for a second. I was
Right.
like, who is that? And I was like, oh, it could have been anybody.
Like literally anybody.
Yeah.
Pollo Loco won the first race.
Ah, I see.
So I guess that's like it kind of counts, I guess. Yeah. No, go ahead.
No, you keep it. No, I was saying, like Amethyst. The big part is also like they're going up against a lot of longtime veterans who have been here for quite a while, have a lot of experience. There are some new obstacles, and we're going to talk about those too. Those are some interesting obstacles. But like overall, Amethyst is up against some really experienced racers. The fact that they managed to win even one race is truly impressive.
I agree. I honestly am very surprised that they won the first one. I think the movement towards the end of the race, which we'll look at later on, was really skillful. So we'll take a look at that, see if we can kind of get anything from that analysis-wise, or just appreciate how good it was. But I think it's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to say. You know what I need to see? I need to see how they do in the second race. They don't need to win the second race or even do that well for me to be convinced. I just need to see how they race. I need to see that, like, how they overtake other marbles, how if they can move their way up a pack, you know, what kind of roadblocks them, what keeps them from making in progress. And that's going to decide for me whether I think, because all marbles, even the best of them in Center Rally, will have bad races, but we'll see the potential. So we got to wait on that. I think we should make our way through this first track and identify some of the new features that we liked. And I'll stop here at this first one. I'm literally on the Chrome right now, so you can kind of follow along with me. I'm trying to find a good little picture of it. There.
But it's the spinner thing.
Yeah, the spinner thing.
Yeah. Okay. Like, first of all, just like a brief overview of the race. I was seeing like messages like in the spoiler chat, like popping up in like my little banner thing on my phone. It's like, oh, this is like one of the best races ever. It's like, maybe people must be just over exaggerating, just excited that Marble Rally's back. But no, this legitimately is one of the best races I've ever seen on JMR and just marble racing in general. Because like it's so good. Like, and first up is like that spinner thing. Like it seems like a very like a subtle, non-effective trap. But, like, if you watch it, especially during like the slowdown near the end, like when they're doing replays, you can see it spins and it flicks a marble and they go flying into the wall on the side, losing all their momentum. That's a great obstacle, actually, especially for like, sabotaging someone behind you trying to draft you or like others close behind. That is like a really it's almost like the marble is attacking their competitors in a way.
Mm-hmm. Pesky?
I thought it's more just like a fancy split more than anything. It's just there to cause chaos.
Okay.
I think it's just another obstacle, in my opinion.
Do you think it holds a lot of value? You think it changes the race much more than like if they just put a triangle there, or you really think it's just that?
I mean, from what we saw, it really didn't do that much. So,
well, like playing slow mo, like something gets flung, like Marble 2 was mentioning, like I think it was Wisp of Darkness who gets thrown by the spinner.
Let's see what a slow mo looks like. Oh well, Wisp of Darkness just launched right over that middle triangle. That was weird. I think that was Wisp of Darkness.
Right. Oh yeah, they're the green and yellow marble.
Oh no,
I can't remember who it was. Was it Cobra?
Amethyst.
Cobra.
Crazy Cat. Okay, so Crazy Cat's Eye here. I'm looking at the Chrome, so if you're not, just start. Crazy Cat's Eye here comes down, and the spinner's untouched. He knocks the spinner on this right side, so he's spinning it now counterclockwise. Amethyst goes to the left side, so his hit counterclockwise direction, so in the direction Amethyst hit the spinner backwards, but that causes him to kind of jump over it, and then he splits left and rams into that wall, and then the spinner loses like all its speed. Wisp of Darkness jumps over the whole thing, and then we kind of goes off view, and then oh wow, this next marble here, I believe that was
Cobra. It was Cobra, if I'm not mistaken.
Cobra was launched off to the left because of Blizzard's blaster spinning it so fast as he ran through it. And so, like, I think that there is more effect to it because some marbles really lost some speed when that happened. And I would tend to think that I like this obstacle. I think it causes problems. I think it can cause some placement changes. I would like to actually see it in the middle of the race or down towards like really at a split path moment, or just at a place where some paths cross, just at a really chaotic place, because I mean when you get this thing spinning, you can really kill some marbles. So I mean that was I was a big fan of the obstacle.
Yes,
I see it more as like the red spinner you see in a lot of courses that is like an arrow. It's just more of like a glorified version of that.
I think
and that spinner, honestly, like
wow.
We'll see it later, but like they recently, like they didn't, even in some of the qualifier videos, they didn't seem to like maybe the wind blew it. It's probably the wind, but like it wasn't positioned to actually really interfere with the race most of the time. Like it was actually like pointing vertically, like in parallel with the track instead of perpendicular to it. So
one marble
hit
hits it, and then it's like it's out of the it's out of contention to do anything.
Yeah.
I think this one, because it's smaller and has 4 equal legs, and when the spinner, the arrow spinner, gets vertical, because it only has 2 legs, it's not going to be hit as often, and it's not going to be spun fast because there's not going to be any perpendicular contact. Basically, where a marble is going one direction and the bar on the spinner is facing the perpendicular direction, and so they create that circular motion. With this 4-legged spinner here at the front, you're going to get a lot of marbles just rolling through like a revolving door, like a turnstile, because they're always going to hit like a bar that's facing perpendicular to their motion. So there's going to be a lot of spinning. And so marbles are going to hit into it wrong and then take the brunt of that spinning. And then the spinner can spin either direction. It can spin right or left. So it can really move around a lot and kind of stratify marbles. Marbles that are close together are going to struggle to both go through the spinner the same way because of how close and small the bars are. So I think it's going to cause a lot of problems. And placed well, it could change a whole race. I also like how that triangle right before it starts on the ground and then raises up.
Yeah.
So if you hit it right in the middle, you just jump over the spinner, which one marble did. Literally Wisp of Darkness did that, which was so cool. And he gained a couple places from that.
Did they manage to clear the entire thing, or did they touch it a little bit?
No,
I
they cleared the entire thing.
Wow.
Which I thought was so cool. I think that was Wisp of Darkness. Wait. Yeah, no, it's hard to see because it's in the normal speed, it's so quick, you almost don't even notice it. But he went off the side there and literally cleared the whole thing. That's crazy. All right, so let's move on here. I mean, the course was designed really well. A lot of good elbows and left-handers, and the turns were sharp, and they were sharp in the right places. They didn't
Yes.
Oh wow, seeing Crazy Cat's Eye roll off the top there, it's just insane.
Wisp of Darkness, I think they pushed them off. Pretty sure.
Yeah, Wisp of Darkness was out for blood there.
Yeah, no, that was a great inside maneuver. I don't think, and the truth is, I don't think Wisp of Darkness' plan was let me get Crazy Cat's Eye off the course. I think Wisp of Darkness' plan was just simple racing basics, which is take inside lines, and if you collide on the inside line, if you get in front of a marble, it's only going to help you, because even if the marble's at least going to get stuck up on the curve of the track there, where it becomes vertical, the wall, and you're going to push out from it and gain momentum on the inside and kind of get straight run towards the next turn. And it just happened that the wall there was a little bit faulty and a little short. There was a little gap in there, and so Cat's Eye just flew right through it. I'm surprised more marbles didn't end up through that.
Yeah. Before we get too far away from it, that really steep wall ramp after the spinner. They actually put a section in there for marbles to get back on the track if they went over it, because that's happened in past races where that big old wall, they go over it. So they seem to be putting in more attention to detail to try and reduce the number of DNFs in common locations. They obviously can't put ramps or pathways like that back at every part of the race. That'd be ridiculous. There's a nice little walled open section there, so if they manage to go over it, they can just go back on. That
is really smart.
I don't think they've done that before.
Actually,
there's a lot of races. They have done it before. Okay, there's so many races and it's been so long. I forgot. I thought that was something that knew they were trying, but regardless, it's a nice attention to detail, trying to reduce the amount of DNFs in their race.
I mean, it's advantageous. That. It would have been faster to do that if you could get over the wall.
I guess that's true.
Because if you hit the wall and don't go over, you have to do turn, straight. This one is just right over and kind of one turn. And you already have that downhill momentum.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Sorry for derailing. I
no, that was good. No, I'm glad you pointed that out. I think that's good. So we go into. By the way, I love this wide section. The camera cuts here. This is about 1:17 in the race. The camera cuts here. Well, it's actually 22 seconds into the race, 1:17 into the video, for anyone who's really paying attention to that. The camera cuts here and goes to the side view, so you don't really get a shot. But I've actually talked about this kind of feature where the track opens up to something look at this. This is 5 times wider than the normal track width. Do you see this on the screen right now?
Oh yeah.
Look, it's 5 times wider. I feel like I don't see this often, and I really like it. I talked about implementing more of that. I wish it lasted longer because it really allows marbles to spread, get some breadth, get some side-by-side racing. And I really like that. I wish it lasted longer or happened more in the race, but I'm glad like it's there. You said it's happened before, Pesky?
I said it was teased. That's actually, I think that's a new feature.
It's a really cool new feature. I think it's simple, but it allows for a lot of movement, which is fun. And then, I mean, they really planned well with all the different chicanes and different kind of bowls. And then, okay, so this next feature here, maybe we'll talk about it. So this split here, this wooden split into these helices. What do we think about that?
It causes chaos, which it lets marbles. I don't know. It's just pretty much a chicane with more bumps.
Buff.
Yeah, like that's the bridge that had like the hole for a different pathway in it, right? Like, is that hole filled in? It's kind of blurry in my screen.
No, this is a marble. This is like this. This is just a simple wooden split for the helices. There's not much to mention here, but I wanted to mention one thing. So just wanted to see if you guys had anything you wanted to mention.
I can't really think of anything special to mention. Like, well, I think also right. I think that little arrow in the middle of it, helped to split up the marbles better. I don't know, like.
Wisp of Darkness hit out really hard there. Like, a lot of Ghost Plasma to catch up.
Yeah, he took a hard left there because he hit the middle and it kind of shot him like horizontally for a second. What I think about this is just simply like I think it's a little bit better than what they normally do, which is they make the split by just making the sand come together to a point. Because I think that it's just more consistent. Like marbles often will ride the middle of the sand and go right up that hill and then fall into the middle and DNF. So it's a DNF preventative. I wish they kind of made it a little more gradient and stuff so that like the marbles would hit less hard off of it, but it's nice. I think it keeps things consistent, keeps marbles moving. A marble would rather probably lose a place because they hit off the wood hard than DNF and not get any chance to finish. So I think it's pretty smart. It keeps things controlled. That's all. Helices, normal helices look pretty nice.
I maybe like those big helices, yes, those are nice. But it's are they coming up on the quick slalom section, like where it's like back to back slaloming?
I think. Oh, you mean here where it's like really like literally looks like a snake in there?
Yeah, like yes, like that. Yes, the height of the hills was so perfect that like it actually allowed them to slow down more. I feel like there's way more position changes here than we've seen in past slalom sections. Like they seem to get just the right amount of steepness to it. Like the passing, like they passed so many times in that one section. It was so good.
Look at this here. This is great. 156 in the video. There's movement. Wisp of Darkness in front. They're going up the hill here, and Ghost Plasma. Look at this picture right here. I'm tempted. I gotta draw a picture. I gotta do a snip. Here we go. I gotta do a snip. So just bear with me a second here. So tell me if you can see the snip on the screen now. You should be able to. I think.
I can't.
Display capture. This should do it.
You got it, boy.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Bear with me, Pesky. This is live snipping. Look at this. So this is what's happening here. The marbles all came from this direction. Look at this arrow. Marbles all came here. Okay? They're all rolling behind you. They're about single file at this point because they're slaloming. They're going up and back and up, right? That's what happened. When they hit here, they all have to run up this very steep hill because this is the direction they have. Like they can't go straight here because they're going this way. What happens here, and Ghost Plasma does a wonderful thing. Wisp of Darkness is in the lead of here, so Wisp of Darkness, just because there's nothing in the way, is going to hit the highest point on this hill and does about here, and then ends up about here because he's in the lead. There's no one in his way to stop him. There's no reason for him to be able to direct his momentum another way. He's just going to roll up the top of this hill. Ghost Plasma takes advantage. Wisp of Darkness is here. Ghost Plasma is here. Ghost Plasma runs about the same way, but hits the underneath of Wisp of Darkness. So it just keeps him up there on the hill, and then is able to transfer momentum back the other way, using, instead of just the hill, also Wisp of Darkness, and then run out in front of him here. Super Ball tried to do a similar thing, but you could see Super Ball is more behind Ghost Plasma than he is under him, and so Super Ball didn't transfer as well. So what happened here is, coming out of this, you have Ghost Plasma in front, then Wisp of Darkness, then Super Ball kind of still on the side here. So the movement there was like all of them twisted with each other. It was really interesting. And it was just kind of smart racing for Ghost Plasma, who, well, should be able to do that. You see Ghost Plasma kind of split out from between them. Super Ball could not get in there. And then as they went through the rest of the slaloms, they followed that same line, but Ghost Plasma kept enough space that Wisp of Darkness couldn't get underneath the way he did. But then Wisp of Darkness has a different kind of maneuver here. I'll draw one more snap.
Yeah, the concept was kind of similar to that. I can't remember what you try to call it, like the pinching maneuver from Marvel Maniacs.
Yes, yes. There's a different version of that in the qualifiers race that I might point out briefly, where that made Marbly McMarble stop in his tracks forever. That was more like that, but this has like some ideas of that because it's using other marbles instead of the wall, which was interesting. So Wisp of Darkness here was able to control himself so well, preparing from over here to run right through the center, find a line through the center, basically to hit a late apex on this wall because Ghost Plasma was following normal lines here. So he comes up the hill and curves like normal lines, and Wisp of Darkness, while this late apex is not necessarily the smartest move, it worked out here because of Ghost Plasma's position and Super Ball following. So Wisp of Darkness got right underneath there and then was able to take back lead. So that was also really interesting. And then the lead kind of took back and he ran out in the front first and got some space again. So a lot of interesting maneuvers there. Pesky, anything you want to say regarding that slalom portion?
I mean, we've seen this before where it's like, if you like take a perfect line, you can like jump over the slaloms. So I think what they did here is just made it enough where it's possible, but it's less likely where you can just jump over all of them.
Oh, you mean like run right through the center? Yeah, that's a good point because usually they're spaced in a way where marbles aren't really forced to hit that vertical motion and run up the walls on every slalom, which causes a lot of different forms of racing because marbles have to get high on the sides of the walls there. Because they usually can just kind of run through the center. And actually getting hit during the slalom is a good thing because then you can run in the center and slow down. But this kind of forced that, so that was good. Let's see if there's any other features to point out here. It's coming up here. Let's find them. Wisp of Darkness really dominated in this race.
Yeah. I don't remember Wisp of Darkness being that great of a racer in past years.
So think about here, Waff, with this arrow. What do you want to say here? This is the initial position it's in, by the way.
Yeah, like they kind of not like because it's angled up, they kind of get it spinning a little bit. So maybe it had like a minor effect. I don't know. I was kind of like the idea of like a big old propeller, like it's a completely perpendicular. They hit it, and it's just spinning, it's just smacking marbles and stuff. You know, like that. That's the vision in my head when I see that obstacle. And so the fact that it's, I get it. More than likely, it was a wind and a mix of gravity making it go in that direction.
Yeah.
But
Waff's annoyed. I mean, they also could just
the thing I was talking about.
Go ahead.
The thing I was talking about earlier with the spinner, it's the arrow. It acts as more just like a solid wall for marbles to hit.
You mean like just to keep them out the center?
To cause chaos.
True. I mean, if they leveled the sand out here, right? Like they leveled it so it wasn't facing downhill just for the little section here, you might be able to get that arrow facing straight. Or they could just put a little servo motor on it, which would be kind of cool. But then again, that might it might break or something. So I feel like the arrow is hard to use here. The other feature works better because there's always a perpendicular bar and a vertical bar. So you'll always be able to spin it. The arrow here didn't serve too much purpose. It spun a little bit the other way. Then it spun a little vertical and affected Super Ball there for a second. Who really came out of that quickly. Amethyst really got through that section quick.
Yeah.
But it didn't have as much of an effect. And then, of course, it disappears in camera view.
Right.
back there. This feature.
This feature. I was excited for this one. This has got so much potential.
Talk about
Like-
it, Wolf. Talk about
like-
it, Wolf.
Like, we saw them go down the other pathway, and it didn't seem to hinder them too much. So, like, I think they need to differentiate the two pathways more. But, like, the idea of this is super awesome. Like a marble being able to go through and then, take the optimal pathway and then shutting that off for the other marbles. Like, I guess, like, if the wall went down, they would lose more momentum going down that pathway, so it would have been slower. But because it never closed, they were able to take advantage of that pathway and actually get ahead. So, like maybe it's like a risk reward type of deal. Like, if you miss, like, you can go down that pathway, and if you not close it, then you will definitely get a lead. But if you miss the trigger for it, then you risk actually losing your position. So maybe that actually is the better way to do it.
Yeah, I think it was
Like-
just a little bit of misplacement. Like, I think their goal was like, let's make it so not necessarily the first marble to run through this is going to knock it over, but like it seems like none did because they all held to that right side of the track from their perspective.
Like, they hit it a little bit, but it never enough to knock it over.
Yeah, and or if it did, it was off camera. We didn't see because Greg didn't catch
Right.
an eye on it. It almost knocked over. But the point being here is like, and let me take the display capture off. I'm not drawing anything. So it's the interesting thing is that they made this right line much faster.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to dive into this right line, this far line, is that without hitting this barrier was really useful. I think the reason they made it faster is because they were assuming the barrier would close, and then marbles would have to hit the barrier first before going down this right line. So they wanted to make it a little faster and shorter, and so like it's a little more fair. But because the marbles escaped into this without even hitting the barrier, it was way faster. And you see Super Bowl gained a lot of ground here, almost up into third place, but then took a bad bounce off the side through that side. And Amethyst got all the way up to first. So that was interesting. I think the feature has a lot of potential, though. This brings us right towards the end of the race, though. And this is where you just see Amethyst start to take over. I want to go back here a moment. Amethyst was holding a good position, but really in the short section here, where I guess she was the first one to get out in front, just then really was able to get a lucky jump because of that feature implemented a little bit off from where it should be. And so I mean, then it was just wonderful watching the race. Though I will say, and we're coming to the end here, Amethyst misses that chevron mostly, but so do the other marbles. I will say racing past after that split, the track was kind of made without many difficulties, without many turns, without many speed changes and stuff, where it was hard to make a pass even if you wanted to. So I think Amethyst kind of just had lucky position there. But so I think the more impressive racing was that as a rookie, she was holding third place through all the other nonsense in the track.
Yeah. And like I think like the overall thing is like there was so many lead changes and battles for positioning to this whole race. It was actually very engaging to watch all the way through. There was no one who was really dominant. Like heck, even red number 3 finished at the back, and the ghost marble finished ahead of them.
I know 2 marbles, by the way, finished behind the ghost. Red number 3 and Lollipop.
Ghost Marble is just the best marble, obviously.
Yeah. I bet one of these seasons they'll have the Ghost Marble race, like, try to qualify for like the actual thing, and that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, like this is actually interesting. So I think when we were discussing red number 3's properties as like material, like and how it interacted with the sand, I feel like when the past like a wet race like this, we kind of mentioned how like red number 3 actually didn't pick up as much sand as other marbles, maybe, and that's why it was able to run. But like this is like a similar condition, and they did worse. Like
no, but they're a marble.
Maybe
now.
that
They're not the keychain anymore.
Right. Well, like did they actually get like a brand new marble, or did they actually take the time to seal the hole?
No, they got a brand new marble. They got an actual marble.
Oh, okay.
With like a 3 on it. It's not a keychain anymore. It's not a sealed key. I wish it was a sealed keychain, but people got mad. So it's like actually a marble. So it actually has marble properties, which is why I think it's still funny that red number 3 did well. I mean, this race was crap, but the qualifiers was so good because it was like it literally is. It was a marble last year too. That's why it didn't do as well. fell from its glory, but it's yeah, back when it was a keychain. I remember early in the podcast days, we had a whole episode on Red Number 3's material and what that meant for the sand picking up, and picking up less sand means picking up less weight and picking up less obstacle, whatever, and we went on and on about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
So that's Sand Rally. Slimer finished in 6th. Slimer, some fan of Marble Sports, had mentioned to me right off the bat that they think Slimer's going to win this year. But so I want to direct our attention briefly before we get where are we at here? About at 50 minutes. Oh God, this is a long one. So maybe I won't direct attention that long. But I'll say a couple things about the qualifiers real quick, and then we'll talk to Pesky about their project for a little while. Episodes run long. Wow, I don't even realize it. Right. So a couple things I want to point out. One thing is with Marble League, Marble Face. I want to hit this really quick. I don't even think I'll need drawing for this. So let's just go to it. Okay. Hopefully we can kind of get a visual. I just want to show you how, because Marble League, Marble Face stopped and DNF'd on the track. I want to show you how that happened and why it might be important. And then
they rolled up on a leaf, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
right?
no, it's not the leaf. See, that's the thing. It's the leaf was not the cause of this. So I just want to point this out real quick.
Okay.
I'm very, very, very fascinated by this situation. Actually, Marble League, Marble Face was making good strides to actually take a top 3rd spot, and then that happened. Okay, so let's look at this real quick.
Oh, lollipop.
So here we go. We're at 0.25 speed. Now let's look. So here we hit this we're about to hit this kind of bowl-shaped thing where marbles are basically, the point being is that the marbles run into this kind of inset. They're going to roll up a wall and then kind of take some horizontal motion briefly. So they'll kind of lose some control. So what happens here, you see Marble League, Marble Face runs up this hill. Lollipop is right in front of him in the horizontal kind of force vector direction of where he's going to be going off this hill. He runs off the hill and he knocks into Lollipop. And that sends all of his So what's happening here is your marble's spinning at this point. So let me replay this again.
Yeah.
The leaf is just there as fuck. Sorry. I'm trying not to curse on the show. It's just there. It's not really doing much here. It might have a little effect, but you see the big knock there between Marble League, Marble Face, and Lollipop. That's what stopped him. He jumps off the track and hits Lollipop, and he hits him in this almost like the way if you were to hit like a cue ball with backspin into an object ball, but like you thin it on the side. Like you're not hitting the ball straight on, you're hitting it on the side. Where like the cue ball is going to kind of move to the right or stop, and the object ball is going to like move forward. It's like the same idea. You have this kind of situation where Marble League, Marble Face has this horizontal motion, runs off here, knocks into the back of Lollipop. So Lollipop is now kind of shot forward and to the right and spun a little bit, and Marble League, Marble Face is just left spinning there. The leaf kind of keeps the spinning in one place, but there was a lot of loss of speed in that collision right before he even touched the leaf. And then he kind of just stopped on the leaf. The leaf probably had a little bit to do with it, but I think it was mostly the fact that he knocked in the Lollipop and all the speed was sent back. But when your marble's spinning, you create a small divot in the sand. If you have spinning motion, it's kind of like if you go out and just like take like a marble, if you in your hand and you just kind of spin it back and forth in the sand, you're going to create a divot, right? You're going to create a little divot in the sand because you're spinning and it's kind of creating that little circle on the bottom of the marble instead of just kind of rolling it over. And even in this kind of hard packed sand, I think that's what happened. A little divot was created with the spinning, so he kind of came to a stop and dug into the sand. And then the leaf probably helped out with that a little bit, just a small force keeping him from moving. And then, of course, he didn't get any contact from... Wow. Did you see how crazy this one marble DPO? I don't know what that... I don't know who that is. Deepa, see at the avoidance there? Holy crap, that's crazy. Look at him. He avoids like barely by like a frame perfect.
Oh wow.
Oh my god, that was great. That's crazy.
Phoenix actually hit Marlon McMonald face, but the Leaf stopped them from going.
Yeah, so the Leaf came into play there. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. That back contact. I mean, and that came the same idea that we saw with when I talked about the pincer maneuver in Marble. In Marble 1, it's kind of like the front marble lodges themselves between the wall and the back marble. So the back marble loses speed, maybe even goes backwards. The wall is in between, and he like the sandwich, and then he shoots forward from that. So that's kind of what happened there. So that was interesting. So
that is actually pretty point to note. I didn't actually notice
your mic is low as hell right now.
I keep forgetting to turn that back up. But yeah, I didn't notice that like the collision there when it happened initially. I kind of thought it was just the Leaf, but no, yeah, that a lot of it definitely had to do with the collision there. Very nice catch. Very nice catch.
The other thing to mention here, Slimer in the friendly race, honestly, in my opinion, a lackluster performance. Super Bowl and Ghost Plasma certainly showed that they're here to race. Cole Moody, not the worst race. I just think Slimer underperformed. Was behind for most of the race. And then, I mean, he did slip into third here, but I don't know. I just don't think that there was... I always thought Slimer kind of accidentally got top 4 last year. That was always my impression. And so, like, I didn't see anything this year that made me be like, wow, that was a kind of performance that really stood out to me. Also, when the Leaf beat Super Bowl, that made me actually laugh. That was funny.
The revenge of the Leaf.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, I was freaked out for a second. I was like, is that another marble? But no. So I think I don't think that Slimer's a bad racer. I think that to say that Slimer's going to win the whole thing, I think there's just not enough. There's not anything really stand out here in race 1 or in the friendly race that made me really see that. And they did well in the first race, but I mean, their exit out of the gate was not very good, and they were in 4th place until about the back third, and then Cole Moody made a couple mistakes out there in the track later on. So I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I mean, like, when you look at Ghost Plasma and Super Bowl, I mean, and the way they raced in the friendly round, I mean, like, I don't think they're gonna be the underdone compared to Slimer. So that's just my opinion on the whole thing. But all that being said, let's wrap that and let's talk Pesky. Give us updates on the Marble Invites situation for these last 10, 15 minutes or so. So, Pesky, talk to us. Marble Invites, where is it at? What happened? What's going on?
Well, it's in the editing stage. I'm like 1.9% or 1.9 videos done. I have to finish an event, and we should be on for mid-March, maybe.
Okay.
That'd be exciting.
Nice.
I'd like.
Excited to see that.
Wolf sent me sorry, I'm yawning. Wolf sent me some pictures here. Can you talk about these? Where you have these event ideas. You said I'd be upset with the couple or something?
Huh? Upset? I don't remember saying that.
Pesky.
I said I apologize for 2 events because their quality is a little bit down, and there is some issues with.
So talk about these 5 events. How are they going to run? We have snow moguls, alpine skiing, snowboard cross, biathlon, and snow rally. What is the ideas for these? How will these be different?
This is a different competition. So basically, I was like, last year I with Pesky Marble Championship Season 7 was a winter league, and these are all like events that I was not able to like film, or just like all the snow melted before I could film them. So all of these events are going to be on the snow. I've recorded 3 so far. It's going to be just pretty much what the winter special was 2 years ago.
Interesting.
Cool. And how will these go, you think? Like, how do they work? Like, like, if you would explain these events to me.
Okay, Snow Moguls is pretty much moguls, but the snow, it's like 2021 moguls except 4 marble heat. So
I see.
Okay.
pretty much just an icy track. Alpine skiing is like team pursuit or like a team aquathlon, but it's gonna be on the moguls track. So it's just 1v1, whoever gets down first.
Okay.
Snowboard cross, like no rally except just chaos. Like the course I made, it has like it go down a really steep hill, like bumps
Oh,
and
okay.
turns, and pretty much just a very intense event. Biathlon, it'll be a team event where the teams are gonna go down a slalom and they hit a point where they'll be timed and then they'll all go into a shooting grid and
Oh.
whatever they shoot on their and whatever they shoot will be subtracted from their time and the fastest time wins.
Hmm.
And then snow rally.
Snow
Of
rally,
course.
snow rally.
You think how long is the snow rally course going to be?
Good question. I will figure that out when I get there.
Because I think, what would you shoot for like 2-3 minutes, or what do you think?
With the hills in my area, I'd say probably we'll get like at most 45 seconds.
I see. That's the thing, because however long the hill is going to make the difference, you know?
Hmm.
Interesting. That's cool. That sounds exciting. And you're going to use the same 16 teams that you're going to use in the first one?
All these teams are just we have new teams for those. We just basically made a bunch of teams that are like winter themed. So we have like teams like Marshmallow Mafia or Team Ornament or everybody's favorite Milk and Cookies.
I like that. But you're not going to use the teams from the first invites thing.
This is like Pesky Marble Championship.
Oh, so this is for your channel.
This is a
specifically.
totally independent thing.
So the invites. Okay, so the invites is a different type of thing. Is that something that's coming out before or after this?
Invites will probably come out before. It just all depends. Yeah, Marvel invites will come out before, and then this will come out afterwards when it's still winter in Minnesota. So
Yeah. No, I see. No, I'm in
Right.
Boston, so it's gonna be winter here till about the end of March at least too. So it will be in theme. Interesting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Marble invites. So how's the whole process of that going? Is it coming together well?
it's going well. We've gotten pretty much everything we need to, and just steamrolling through editing. Special announcement: we're actually going to have 3 commentators
Oh.
working.
Of which
We
I
gotta
am
have
none of them.
Angus, Ramen, and Spenny, 3 main commentators.
Interesting. Sounds
Interesting.
good. I
Like
hope.
all at once.
That's what
wow,
what I
that's
think
gonna
we're
be
gonna
busy.
be doing.
Okay. Huh.
Should be
That'll
fun.
be interesting.
Should be fun. I hope that goes well. I'm excited. I'm excited to hear how it comes together.
I
yes,
did
same.
send WAF a bunch of teasers of the events.
Yeah, he sent me a couple of videos that look really, really nice. That
Oh
I'm
yeah,
seeing
Pesky
here.
sent me some more things. I guess there's a sand rally race. I'll send them now. Like,
Marble. Wow,
there's-
this is the fast track. That the marbles got out there quick.
Yeah.
Try to get a closer zoom if you can on these races because it might be hard to identify colors. But that's pretty cool. That's pretty good. I mean, you carved out
There's a-
really nice tracks.
It's a
Interesting.
collision arena.
I know I didn't pull these up for everybody to see. Wait, let me. I can actually do like a display capture here so we can all see these as I'm watching these. So here, these are pretty nice tracks. They're carved well. I mean, I know they can only work with the hills they got, but
Top one is moguls, and that one is snowboard cross.
oh, I see. So this is moguls. This top one,
Yes.
moguls. This one's straight though. This top one. I thought moguls would have like the hills.
It's kind of hard to,
Make hills out with snow.
yeah. Like even this was challenging to do
I would imagine, yeah.
because snow is a really hard medium to work with. So it was pretty much just
Fair enough.
Yeah, you have like collision. There's 5-meter sprint. You got
The sand rally
relay.
looks pretty good, actually. This looked
The
pretty
sand rally is
straight up.
actually. I really like the sand rally.
How'd you even
It's
get
very
all
nice.
this sand hill?
I found the one sand hill that exists in the Twin Cities.
This looks pretty good, actually. Honestly, this is cool. This is cool.
Yeah.
I think that there's potential here. Honestly, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. This collision looks fun. You set the collision up pretty well. I mean, wow, that floor is dirty on the left side. Get some tiles, but maybe
there's going to be an in-universe reason why the floor changed.
that's funny. But like this looks straight up pretty good. Like this looks like 2017 collision,
Yeah.
which is cool. This, what is this? 5-meter sprint. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Works out. I mean, yeah, I think that this is the relay looks like it moves pretty well. As long as if we can be like, okay, we know we're not getting JMR from this, then I think this could be really fun. This funnel endurance looks cool. Be careful how you order your funnels. Always test that thoroughly. And is this elimination race here? Oh, wow. Awesome. And you got the whole honeycomb thing going and everything. Right. Of course, because... Right. Okay,
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm excited for this, actually. This is a chance for Marble Sports to make a statement outside of JMR, which I'm okay with at this point. So
Yes, agreed.
I wish you the best with this, man. I think seeing all those videos makes me pretty excited. As long as the overlay editing is clear, I say clear before good, because I just, as long as it's clear what's happening and where the points are going, it doesn't need to be the coolest looking thing ever. Just keep it clear so people understand what's going on. Then, I mean, man, like, you're shaping up for something that could be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, we have Nordique doing the graphics,
And he's
They're
quite
pretty
good.
good graphics.
Awesome.
I remember seeing Nordic stuff. I think that they do some pretty decent graphics, actually. I can't remember which competition specifically. I've seen so many for the news segment now, so they're all kind of blurring in my head.
All right, then. Well, that's great. Well, I think, unless you guys have anything else, I think this is a good place to stop. Next time, we'll probably talk more about some of the Sand Marble Rally Marbles past histories and how that might line up to their skill this year. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how the season will go. I feel like there's a lot different about this Sand Marble Rally season. It's been a long time. The tracks are different. The format's different. So I feel like it would take a crazy direction. But, I mean, Super Bowl coming out looking amazing. So awesome. All right. That being said, Waff, Pesky, anything?
I got nothing. I'll just say thanks for coming on, Pesky. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on.
Yeah, dude, it's great.
Looking forward to Marvel invites.
Yeah, guys, stay aware of that because we're gonna cover it.
Absolutely.
Waff, do the thing. Take us out.
I shall do the thing. Roll on, Marvel sports fans.